Hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm George.
And I'm JPatt.
And you're listening to the Box Officers Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And please continue to support us by leaving a star rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode.
Watching a bad movie is like witnessing a serious crime, but have no fear. The box offices are here. Every episode, me, Georgette, and Kelsey will review a movie and give a verdict based off of how bad it is.
Films can be convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, an infraction, or on the rare occasion found innocent. So, without further ado, this week we are going to be reviewing the movie One Battle After Another. So, if you haven't seen it, you got to pause the episode because we're about to spoil it. And there's a lot to spoil, actually. But otherwise, let's get into the episode.
Who was the director again? It was Paul. Is that his name?
Yeah, Paul Anderson.
Paul Anderson. Yeah. What other movies has he made?
I
What's
was
his
not
track
super
record?
familiar with his work, actually. I
Yeah.
did look it up, but it wasn't anything that I recognized for real. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess he made a name for himself with this movie because it's gotten a whole lot of positive reviews, a whole lot of people hyping it up, even though it's only been 2 days out. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes I like a stacked cast, sometimes I don't. I don't want it to ride on the fact that I love the actors, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sometimes it's just genuinely you got good people.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is here. Sean Penn
Mm-hmm.
is here. Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor,
Yeah.
um, Tony Goldwyn. I didn't know he was
Yeah.
gonna be in this. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys watched Scandal or not.
Yeah, that's really where I know him from. I was like, that's the Scandal guy.
Wait a second, Pookie, what are you doing here? It was just wow, y'all got money, and they do actually, because I think the budget was around 130 million, and I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Are you
Because
Dang.
serious?
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I think about it and I'm like, why am I struggling to pay my rent and y'all have the budget of 130 million for a movie? But whatever. I don't know. But they did a really good opening weekend, so I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, let's try to do this. Should we start by talking about what we liked and then maybe talk about what we didn't like, or should we go in order? How do we approach this?
Like that. I guess we can talk about what we liked first, and then we can kind of go in categories. Maybe the cast, scenes, whatever. I did like Sean Penn's performance, the character he played, Lockjaw. I liked him, and I think he was probably maybe my favorite out of the cast. He had a funny little storyline, I guess. To me, it was a crazy storyline, but yeah, that's my opinion.
The fact that okay, yeah, his performance was really good because
Mm,
it's actually he's not the star of the movie, right? But all of these
no.
stories kind of work because of him. So he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a really big part of this. And I think it's always hard. I mean, I'm not an actor, I don't know. But I feel like it's hard to play somebody that's supposed to be serious but is such a silly person, but you got to be
yeah,
serious in order for the the humor to come across in the right way. Like we're laughing at him. We
yeah,
can't
yeah,
laugh
yeah,
with
yeah.
him. And I think he did that really, really well. I was literally, I can't even tell you my favorite part because he was so ridiculous the whole time. And
Yeah, yeah.
what was that
He was a
freaking
ridiculous
white
character.
supremacist group? The
Yeah, the
Christmas Adventurers
Christmas
Club?
Adventurers,
Him
and he
trying
he
to
wanted to
be
be
a
in that
part
group
of
so
that
bad.
so bad. And it was actually hilarious. He was trying to say basically he was assaulted and that's why he has this girl running around. And he was
Yes,
be
yeah.
dead serious. I don't know. He was funny.
Called her a whole semen demon, which is
Yeah, I was like,
crazy.
and they were so serious. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the performance
Yeah,
was so good that it gave space for that humor because, that's actually hilarious. There were a few times
yeah,
that, they were being serious. Leonardo DiCaprio, his character Bob, hilarious. This man is using the phone. He just wants to charge his phone, y'all. 30
That
minutes of
Right.
him
scene
just
was
trying to charge
really.
his phone.
I did really. I think that was probably like one of my favorite scenes. Like it was just so chaotic.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, what's going on here? And
Mhm.
he
Literally.
was just like, it was really believable. Like I felt his like. I don't know, like his internal like chaos that was going on. Because like,
Hmm.
did she take the phone with her? I don't know what happened with the girl's phone. Did she take her? Or did she not?
She had the
Yeah,
little
she had
like
the phone.
receiver thing.
No, she
And
Okay.
had a
then
phone
she
on her.
had her cell phone also, which they
Yeah,
didn't know she had until like
yeah.
it was too late.
In the
Until it
car.
rang. Yeah.
Yeah, she hid a cell phone, yeah.
Okay.
But he was
So
trying to call
the
like their
satellite, like the
handler, their like
Yeah. They're little like
the support
organization
people.
people. Yeah.
He was trying to call for help so that he can get her location, and he can't remember the freaking time and the code or whatever. And that is so funny. And
Yeah.
it was stressful though. You can feel his stress, and then him
yeah.
falling off the building,
He
running
was
across
like,
the
bro,
building and
I've been
Yeah.
falling off.
doing
Like
drugs. Like, I don't
Literally.
know.
like
No, that was
did
like a good scene.
yeah,
Hmm.
like he literally did all of that mess just to fall off the building and then
Like
get tased and captured a couple minutes
immediately.
later.
That's what gets me. A lot of
Yeah.
times movies let people get away with those things, and this was super realistic in that in a real situation, yeah, you're getting arrested immediately, and he did. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that it wasn't like unbelievable in terms of like them escaping.
Hmm.
I was kind of like surprised that Tiana Taylor didn't come back. I don't know why I thought we would
Yeah.
see her, but
Right.
I guess that's realistic too. Like, why would you come back if we're being
Right.
honest?
Like I think I told y'all like I did miss like maybe like 15, 20 minutes of the start of the movie.
Mm.
And
I didn't
Tiana
know that.
Taylor, yeah, I
That
got
was
to the theater a little late.
the whole part.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
yeah. Like
thought.
I walked in there as soon as they were wheeling her into like the hospital or whatever on a wheelchair, and like all the cops were celebrating, like they caught her or something like that. And then it was like right after that, she just kind of like just disappeared out the movie. She didn't really die, did she? She just escaped to
No.
Mexico. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was missing something. Were you about to say, George?
I forget the girl who took her to the nuns. I forgot the actor's name.
Oh,
Yeah,
Regina Hall.
Yeah,
Regina Hall.
I thought she was like an aged version of Tiana Taylor. Like I thought that was like
You
gonna
thought that
be
was
her
her?
mom. I mean, I thought that's what
Oh
they're trying
no.
to tell us because I was like, they don't really, they look kind of close in age actually. Like I don't think that would work.
Oh no.
But like that's how I thought. So it's like really weird that she like actually never came back. Like,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah,
is
no,
it
I
she
mean,
didn't.
realistic to leave your daughter like and never come back? That's realistic.
I only feel like it's realistic for her character because she left her in the beginning, like before everything blew up. So it's like you
right.
kind
Yeah,
of left your family when you didn't have to, anyways. So
that's fair. Yeah, because like there was like no
yeah,
pressure at that time.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
basically.
then you did technically snitch on them. I get it. I
She
get it.
did.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
messed
did
up.
give up your daughter's name and your
I don't actually think that she
boyfriend,
needed to
whatever.
do that either. Like, why are
She
you
did.
acting like this bad, like super, like I don't know. She acted like she was such a tough cookie, and she just didn't want to go to
I
jail.
feel like
Like,
no, yeah, that's my thought. I was like, were they actually gonna kill her, or would you just go to jail? Because I feel like you should go to jail.
I feel like she wasn't. She gave the type that wasn't scared of dying. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
yeah.
don't.
And if you're not scared, then why would you give up your daughter and your
Yeah,
basically your
she just
husband's name? You know, you were
she's
living with him.
selfish. That's for
It
sure.
was giving selfish. It didn't give revolutionary, which is why everybody else was like, "Yeah, your
Yeah, they were
mom's a
calling her a
rat."
rat. Yeah. I was like,
They
damn.
said, what did the other lady say?" She's like, "So that makes you a baby rat or
Yeah,
something."
baby rat. I was like, oh,
I said,
oh, excuse my
"Dang,
language. Yeah. She was like,
that's
that's
kind of
yeah.
crazy." It
Said
was
that to her
harsh
face
for sure.
too. Yeah.
You know what I liked? Okay, pause. The girl, Chase Infinity, we haven't really seen her before, but she did her big one. And I think it's probably hard being in a movie with all these big name actors who like have a
Yeah.
resume. And you're just a
Yeah.
girl, you know, coming in and you have to keep up. But I thought she did really well. But the scene that got me when she was at the prom, the dance, whatever, and she's in the
Hmm.
bathroom. I didn't
Yeah,
even
with the
catch
mirror,
I didn't
with
even
the
catch the sound of the theme,
yeah.
and she turns around and Regina Hall is standing there, and suddenly everyone's gone. Like I wasn't even peeping what was going on. That
Yeah.
literally had me holding my breath because I was like, oh my goodness, it's happening. And it's crazy because, she's been preparing for this like her whole life. Like she knows, but it's like one of those things where you never really think the bad thing is going to happen because she didn't even want to
Mm-hmm.
take the device with her. And if she hadn't, Regina
Right.
would not have been able to find her. And then she was going to be cooked and
Yeah. I did like
captured
that scene a
then.
lot.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Especially with, I mean, they added the mirror to that scene, and I think that was a lot better than it just being like scenes of them talking to each other, like clips back and forth. I liked how they were talking to each other, but you could see Regina through the mirror. It kind of gave a stressful feeling. Yeah, like that's how
Yeah.
I felt. Yeah, yeah. But I did
You
like that
had
scene
to
a lot.
keep the camera on Chase's character, on Willa,
Yeah.
so that like it doesn't, otherwise it would have interrupted like the tension if it's flipping back
Yeah,
Yeah.
and forth. So them keeping it
exactly.
on her was smart. The cinematography was, man. So I think earlier I said that movie F1 with Brad Pitt
Hmm.
was like some of the best cinematography I've seen, and I still like stand by that. But this, like
Yeah,
in
it was
terms of
good.
2025,
Yeah.
giving them a run for their money, man. That scene where they were going over the
The
hills
hills, and they were
and
trying to like look
driving
over, and
that
yeah.
long road, I was like, I've never seen anything like this except for in F1 when they're on the track and it looks like it gives
Hmm.
like roller coaster vibes, and that's what this
Yeah.
gave.
That could
But
have
I
that could have
literally
gave
was
some
feeling anxious.
some inspiration from F1. I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was
I
already
feel like they already
made.
made this.
Nah, hey, F1, hey, the way they set they scenes up, that's like cream of the crop. F1 was really good, so
It was a good
I'm
It
movie.
pretty
was really
sure.
good, but this
Yeah.
this I'm not gonna lie, that made me literally like I was holding my breath when, and it went on for so long. I thought it was gonna be like a little 10
Mm,
second like, no, it went on for a while. And I think earlier in the movie, Bob was saying something about life in waves or whatever, and I feel like that was the life in the waves, and I just thought that was such a
mm,
cool shot. And
a
I
metaphor.
saw it, I don't know how you saw it, but I saw it in 70 millimeter IMAX. I've never
Yeah,
seen anything like that, y'all. I'm not even playing. I've seen a lot
yeah,
of IMAX movies. I've seen a few in 70 millimeters. This, I'm not gonna lie, I think
yeah,
I think they're taking the cake. It was
yeah.
stunning. I almost like, I was so distracted by how good it looked that at points I was like, I think I'm missing the movie because it looked too good.
I wish I saw it in IMAX. I've seen like little like pictures of people watching it in IMAX and how huge the screen looks.
It
And I
was
was like, okay, that
huge,
was
and this that ratio, that format on that screen, it was huge, and it,
hmm
this the film gives it like a little bit of texture that like
yeah,
shooting on an iPhone won't give you, which I have my thoughts on shooting on an iPhone for
yeah.
real movies. Anyways,
You
this
know what
just
movie you
felt
talking
like you
about?
could feel the texture, and it was just, man, I don't know. I don't know if that's still available. I would go back just to enjoy that.
I need
It
to
was
I
watch
like
it.
think
It
I
sounds
will.
like a
artistic.
good
Yeah.
experience.
I think
It
I
was
will
worth
because
every penny.
I did miss the first like 15-20 minutes, so I still want to see that. So I might as well see it in IMAX. That actress's name though, it still throws me off. Chase Infinity? Is it just me?
Why is that throwing you
Because
off? What do you mean by
well,
that?
when I like saw her name for the first time, I thought somebody was joking in a way, but like Chase Infinity is kind of like two major corporations, like Chase Bank, Infinity, like the car. So that's what I was like.
But they do be having fake names
That's,
sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
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 I,
they
I'm
have
like,
fake
is that her
names.
like her show name or? But yeah, that's what I was
maybe.
thinking.
I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't think of it that way, but
I don't know
yeah,
why I
it
did.
does
Maybe
feel
I'm the
fake.
George. You have any thoughts on any of the scenes that you like the most?
I really like the scene where they were going into the, I guess like the store scene, and I feel like obviously there was like a
Oh
lot of
right,
social
yeah.
commentary in this movie. So I mean, like I always hear about
Mm,
like the coyotes and stuff and sanctuary cities and things like that. But like I was
yeah,
like, is this really like, I don't know how accurate that. I feel like it was accurate. I don't think those parts were like
it could.
fictional, but I feel
Yeah,
like yeah, they could be though. But
it
I
could
don't think
be.
they
Yeah,
stretched the truth that much.
I don't think so either. It seemed real
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me.
yeah.
It was kind of
And
crazy.
I'm
It was
like,
kind of
that's
crazy to
crazy.
me,
Like they have, yeah.
like the
I
little
was like,
secret
they really
rooms
be
and
in here. Exactly. I'm it's like
Yeah.
CIA level. And I really liked how like calm the guy was. Like he was like super calm considering
Oh,
the
Sensei.
circumstances
Yes.
too.
Yeah, Sensei. I
Yeah,
liked him.
like
And
he was just like,
ate it
He's a
up.
great actor.
yeah. I would say the acting in this was like super good. Like I feel like everything's like super realistic. Like I don't know. It
Hmm.
really gave like what those anime like slice of life?
Oh, I know
Like
you're
it's
talking
just
about.
like
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it was just
yeah.
like it's really giving like slice of life like sort of movie and the scenes and stuff like they really highlighted like the things that don't normally like get shown in movies and stuff like that. And like it was like I feel like it was like super detail oriented and they got the details right and
Hmm.
stuff. So I really like that part of the movie.
I did
But
like the scene
I
Yeah.
with the
don't know.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I was gonna say I did like the scene with the little meeting of the Christmas adventurers where they were like
Man,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
where they
It
were
did
talking
remind
about
me now that you say it, it did remind me of like Black Klansman, sort of the directing
yeah.
style. Like that's
Mm.
actually what it reminded me of. Like actually,
Yeah. Yep.
especially that. So I guess it's like kind of like Spike Lee ish
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
scenes and stuff like that. I don't know if I really like the beginning of the movie though.
Well, I
Like
would know.
I was, yeah. Oh, I was kind of like, what's going on? I guess it's good to set up her character. I think that's what it was good for. I guess that she was like kind of like psycho and like I guess her whole life was like crazy. But I don't know how I feel about the beginning of the movie. I was just like, this is like overly sexual. Like I'm uncomfortable.
It was pretty explicit. I do understand the rated R,
Yeah.
rating, but I
Dang, what
think
went down at the beginning of the
my
movie?
no, that's why
You
I was
just don't
like,
have to
JPatt,
watch it.
you do need to go back because that was the whole context for why we're in the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, she and the okay, so
Lockjaw?
Tiana Taylor's character, Perfidia,
Yeah.
it sets up why her and Lockjaw have why she's even with him or like why he was the father in the first place, like how it got to that point.
Yeah.
Why he's Willa's father in the first place. And so I agree, it was pretty explicit. I liked seeing them kind of set up the French 95, no, French 75
Hmm.
like organization, kind of seeing them before we get to the climax. But something about the beginning didn't sit right with me either. I don't know if I felt like it was kind of jumping a little bit all over the place. And I do feel like there was a lot of time given to the whole Lockjaw and Perfidia thing in a way that, yeah, it didn't have to be that way. At a certain point, it seemed like we
Hmm.
stopped serving the story and we're just like
Shock
serving.
value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
period. Yeah. And so I agree. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Some of that didn't need to be there. And we could have set the story up because it really takes off. I don't know, especially when you have a movie that's almost 3 hours long. I think you
Yeah.
should be intentional kind of about what's left in some of that first like 15 minutes we could have done without. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It definitely felt long, bro. Like it was
It
like
did feel like 40
it was
minutes.
going on. Yeah, it definitely. I felt that because at some point I was like drifting off. Like I was like, bro, like
Dang.
what are we doing? Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
felt long. Like it's not entertaining enough movie to be that long, in my opinion. Like
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't so
Oh, you
entertained.
talking
Like
about like
I
the
need
movie as a
more.
whole?
Yeah, like I'm like, bro, this
Hmm.
does not need to be this long. Like I feel like it could have been like Netflix level, like hour 40 minutes, honestly. Like it didn't give like
Really?
in my opinion, it didn't give cinematography like that. Like I don't know, like I feel like
Ah.
yeah, I didn't get too many like scenes where I was like, that's beautifully shot. Like, let's focus on it for 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. It kind of gave like a Netflix action movie. Like, y'all know that movie that also Leonardo DiCaprio was in it? I think it's like Don't Look Up or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it gave. Like, it just kind of gave like Netflix, like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I
could kind
do
of
see why you compare it to Don't Look Up. I understand.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
I did not need this to be 3 hours.
I could kind of relate to that because I had mentioned it earlier before we started it. Like going in, I was thinking, and then also, with Kelsey hyping it up a bit, I was thinking like, and based off of things I had seen from tweets and stuff like that, the movie is called One Battle After Another. So I was feeling like, okay, this is going to be a type of like rebellion versus, the government or whatever, and there's going to be like this plot that's going on between all of it. So I was thinking that it was going to be a bit more action than there was in the movie, where it's literally like one action sequence after the other. There's a whole lot going on, and then there's a plot that's going on beneath it when it comes to the guy and his daughter and all of that. At least from what I saw about the movie, that's what I thought it was going to be about. But there was a whole lot of, like Georgette said, just a whole lot that didn't necessarily need to be there. Like it could have been a bit, the movie could have been shortened in a way. Like there were a lot of scenes that were just kind of like just there to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't 3 hours. I feel like it didn't need to be 3 hours with the context it had. I mean, this is just a man looking for his daughter. There's not like a plot B or plot C. Different stories all happening at once. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But I
It
mean,
wasn't
over
that
I
like
feel like
complicated.
there were. No, go
I mean,
finish your thought.
you had the dad, you had it from his point of view, and then you had Lockjaw's point of view, and then you had Willa's point of view. So, okay, those are three different point of views. But I guess I could say it was just missing some action for me. I guess maybe that's what it is. Because when I came into the
Maybe.
movie, I remember there was, okay, you have the riot that goes on in the city. And then you have the point. I I didn't know what I was walking to, but I guess it was after Willa's mom ratted, and then a couple of the French 75 got killed or captured. Like that one lady, she was like in the store. She sees some people walk in. As soon as she walks out the building, she gets shot. And then you see some other members captured, and all of that is going on. That's why I was thinking, okay, like, oh, like this is going to have a little bit of like this is gonna have a little bit of suspense and some action in it, especially when it came to like the sound effects. Like I'm not sure if y'all felt it, but when they like fired bullets or whatever, it was kind of like you felt like it wasn't like a regular action movie. Like when they fired those bullets or whatever, or it killed somebody, it's like okay, you could feel that, So I thought it was gonna be a bit more
Hmm.
intense. Even that scene with the Native American guy when he dropped Willa off at whoever those people were, he just crashed out and went and started shooting up the place. I thought that was going to be a bit more detailed, but it was like the whole entire fight happened off screen when they really could have made like a cinematic masterpiece out of that if they wanted. I mean, they had the skill to. They could have done a little bit more cinematography with that, with just the firefight going on, but they didn't really hone in on that. It was like, okay, he went over there, shot a couple of people, got killed, and it just focused on Willa hiding, getting into the car and then driving off. So I those are some of the things that I just didn't like about the movie. The movie was great, but if I could complain about some things, it'll probably be that.
Think I understand where y'all are coming from, but I never, or I don't recall seeing the trailer,
Hmm.
so I never had the expectation for it to be an action movie. So going in, I wasn't looking for action because I didn't think there would be any. But I think maybe my interpretation was like the actual fighting wasn't the battle. The battle was just like the battle to reconnect with your daughter, or the
Hmm.
battle to become a white supremacist, or the battle to save all these people from ICE. Like the battle was in here. But I can understand what you're saying in that, it could have had more action, but I feel like the action
Yeah.
it did have was very purposeful. Because I hate movies I actually don't like action movies normally because I don't like pointless fire and gunshots and explosions
Yeah.
for like no reason,
Yeah.
combat that doesn't serve like the plot. So I
I,
appreciated that everything in this was like with a purpose, I guess.
yeah. I could agree with that. I wasn't trying to say it should have been an action movie. I think I was just going in thinking that there would be a bit more action. Like even when
Yeah.
it got to the point where he finally
Yeah.
escaped, he jumps over the building, and you have that whole riot going on. I thought it was about to be like a sequence of him escaping with all of this chaos, happening around him. Just how in the scenes previously, all of that chaos happening on the inside with, the immigrants and, you know, all of, you could feel the stress of the situation. I was like, okay, here's what's happening inside this building now that he's out and he knows how to get to his, girl. he has to get through all of this chaos happening on the streets. But then he just kind of got tased
Yeah.
and knocked out. And I'm like, they could have did a little bit more, before he got before he got tased and knocked out. They could have done a little bit more with that, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I still liked it.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe you. No, I'm kidding. I I think that brings us to a good point, though. I feel like I'm curious to hear what you guys want to lock in as your rating. Georgette, what do you think? If you had to rate this, and you do, what do you give it?
Honestly, it just wasn't. It didn't really push the needle on anything for me. Like, I watched the movie. It was definitely. It was original in the sense that I never watched a movie like it. But I feel like people talk
Hmm.
about that all the time. Like, I feel like it's not original in thought. It definitely is original in execution, but like I feel like I've seen it before. Like I'm like I thought of this as a movie before. So, but at the same time, there was nothing that was like horrible. So I'll give it a misdemeanor.
No, no, that's a
Yeah.
That's
verdict.
pretty
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, so her verdict is
Well,
a misdemeanor, but I guess by rating, what would your rating be? Like 1 out of 10?
Out of 10, it would be a 5.3. Yeah,
Five?
5.3. Yeah, like I don't feel
All
like
right.
aside from the originality, like what's not sitting right with you?
it's just like I was just like I watched the movie. Like I watched it and did not think about it for the rest of the day. Like I didn't have a new personality walking out the movie theater. Like there's some movies where it's just like dang, like I want to be that person, or like dang, like this really makes you think about my
Hmm.
life, or like I just okay, like it's a film. It's about immigrants and a
So,
vigilante group. Like it could have been a Netflix movie, in my opinion.
yeah.
But not this to Netflix. Because there's some good Netflix movies. Like, I
There
feel like
are,
this
there
was
are, there are, there
this
are.
There
definitely would
are,
not even be a
yeah.
good Netflix movie. Like this yeah, this not even like a
We
rewatch.
love
Like
Netflix.
we
But
love Netflix.
you feel like shouldn't like people shouldn't be treating it like it's a Nolan film, like it's Oppenheimer or something like that.
Hell no. Oh no.
Yeah, you don't think that?
It's
Okay.
just literally game like y'all have money and y'all just want to make a movie and it's like I'll watch it. But this is not going anywhere in pop culture. I felt like they forced the trying to have a moment, like forced the whole social like commentary too. I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little like you guys
Yeah, I did see a lot of
are
people say
using
that.
them. Like a little bit.
I will I will give
Yeah,
you that
Yeah.
one. You ate that one little thing.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like okay, y'all trying to make it like I don't know. It feels a little off. I mean, maybe their heart wasn't like in a good place, but it felt a little
yeah,
like okay, y'all trying to get the Latino viewership or something. Like it feels weird. It feels
They
weird.
yeah.
wanted
I
the
did
blue
think that.
Like
boats.
yeah, like
Like it felt
that's what it
forced.
low
Like I
key
did see a
gave.
lot of people
Like
saying that.
it
Yeah.
felt forced at times. Like it felt like
Hmm.
the commentary on the pronouns. Like I don't know. Like maybe I'm not woke.
I see. No, I get what you mean. You want this, these conversations. I don't mind a think piece, but you do want it to come
Yeah,
across as like authentic. I
authentic.
think the
Yeah,
only reason why I let it slide is because there's just a lot of everything happening in this movie in theory like could be happening. It's real, but it's
yeah,
so dramatized and
Hmm.
comedic that I feel like them even playing into that, even the conversation between Ben and Willa when they were like, he's like, is it they them? Is it this? Like, it came off comedic, even though like that is a real
Yeah,
conversation that people
yeah,
yeah,
have. But I get what you're saying. But it's like part of the plot. Like the plot is about like a third of this movie is about immigration, and stuff like that. So,
hmm,
but I
but
get what
they
you mean.
couldn't.
There's
They
a way to
literally,
do it.
yeah, because I'm like that whole like the baby daddy, like not baby daddy, whatever the Bonnie and Clyde thing. That low key could have been any other backdrop for that. Like in my opinion, it didn't. I don't think them being in a sanctuary city, like I don't know, like I feel like it literally could have been any other backdrop. So it didn't need to be that.
Mm.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It
You're
literally
right.
could have.
Because that
They literally
once
could
they
have
were
did.
in the sanctuary city, it
Yeah,
didn't add
like
anything
they
necessarily.
could
They
have did
didn't do
that
anything with the
in.
riots.
Could have
yeah.
did it in
Like they could have
Boston,
done something cool with the
or
riots.
yeah, like
I
I
think
don't
they were
know.
trying to give Lockjaw an excuse because he was there on the premise of like, I
Getting the
guess,
girl.
enforcing harsh
Or
immigration laws.
Yeah, he did
oh,
say
okay.
that.
He
Was
was there
like,
to get the girl, but
Yeah.
this is why he got the funding and was able to go, is because he's like, oh, let's go like hardcore ICE vibes into
Yeah.
this city. And I think it served as a cover. But you're right. There were infinite ways to get him in that city doing this that didn't involve that like cover mission that never got actually like fleshed out. We never saw anything outside of the sensei moving people and the
Hmm.
tunnels, but outside of that, like, you're right, we didn't see the riots, we didn't talk about it beyond that, and it didn't have to go that way.
I'm not like completely mad about it. Like I said, it gave like slice of life, but I feel like it's not authentic. Like it's just that's just it. Like, and you can't make me feel like it is. And it's not because I don't know. Like it's just something about it that doesn't feel authentic, and I can't really pinpoint. Like it gives like you want brownie points, like almost. I don't know.
Kind of like yeah,
That's
like
it.
That happens
just social
sometimes.
points
Yeah.
or kind of like, oh, people will
Yeah,
like this movie
like
because it speaks on this topic, you know. That yeah, I saw that point. I
exactly.
could and I agree with it. And like personally for me, I would give the movie a strong 7 out of 10. There were scenes I liked. I can say there were scenes that I didn't like, but there are definitely scenes that I liked. There's just parts that I wish had a bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like okay, I could have had this instead of this scene. But overall, I can agree with George when it comes to the point of it being forced. I can see people liking this movie because it has a whole lot of the Antifa vibes to it, fight the system. And then I can see people liking it because it speaks on the whole immigration thing. Honestly, I liked it because, cinematography, they had good cinematography. It had some nice comedic points, like comedic scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like there are parts that I like laughed at and actually enjoyed. And of course it had characters I enjoyed as well, but I wouldn't say it blew me out of the water. But I did leave the theater like, yeah, it was pretty good. But like I said earlier, there was just stuff I was like, I wish this was in the movie. So 7 out of 10, and I'd give it an infraction. I left with an infraction because after three
Okay.
hours, I would give it an infraction for that. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest movie on earth, and we know how you feel, Kelsey. So I do want to hear
Here we
your
go.
like strong points. I want to hear what you got to say.
But immediately, will have to say, and I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I do think it was innocent.
And this
I
is do it.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say that it's movie of the year, but it's up there for me. I would put it top three easy. Like it was really, really good to me.
Hmm.
I will say for me, the cinematography thing could also be in part because I saw it in 70 millimeter IMAX, and I think
It
it
might
made a
be
difference.
that because
Yeah.
That
I did not.
shot, yeah, there was a shot of Lockjaw talking to somebody on the street in the desert, and
Yeah.
it zooms out. I tell you guys, I've never seen it was so much sky and like space. It was just perfect. And
You might
then
be talking about the bounty
Willa and
hunter.
Lockjaw in the church.
Yeah.
Yes, the bounty hunter, and that was good. And then Willa and Lockjaw in the church. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
The hills in the desert. It was beautiful.
Now
There was
that
just
church
a
scene,
lot of that where it's like this is why we pay for IMAX. You know.
yeah. I was
What
gonna
about
say
the?
that church scene, I could see how good that would look in IMAX because when I was watching it in standard, I'm like, oh, I like that shot, but I didn't see it in IMAX, so I'm pretty sure that looked pretty good.
It was amazing. And then I will
Yeah.
also say the acting, I have no qualms. I can't complain. But I think in terms of the story, it did make sense to me. It kind of reminds me of like, I guess the way you are describing it makes me think of like a Tarantino film almost. I don't know if you guys saw Once Upon a Time
Sure,
in
yeah.
Hollywood. This kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
feels like it's on that street. And it's one of those things where it's like, I can see why people wouldn't like it, like very clearly. But I did. It just made, I don't know, the subplots made sense to me. I know, yes, it's in theory like only about a daughter reconnecting with her dad, but even you have that like white supremacist subplot, and then you have the immigration
Yeah.
subplot, and you have all these things that are factors, and I really like when the supporting stories make sense and they don't just kind of like fall away. I will say
Hmm.
that some of the stuff in the sanctuary city did get lost. And so I can understand that kind of being like a waste. I feel like I understand why it was a long movie. Do I think it needed to be that long? No. I probably could have done it in 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the 40 minutes I would have taken out were some of the things George and I talked about in the beginning, and then
Hmm.
some of the stuff with the right before Ben gets arrested. So when he's in the sanctuary city, taking out a little bit of that because they didn't use it later. Like they had this
Yeah.
whole thing, this whole riot thing going on, and this whole plot of moving these people, and they didn't really use it as much. So probably could have been shortened. It felt really long, similar to the beginning of the movie. It felt really long. But once we got to the climax, I mean, they had me on the edge of my seat. Outside of the long walk, I haven't jumped at a gunshot sound like in a movie. Like I
Hmm.
can't even tell you the last time I jumped. I literally like flinched because I don't know what they did. I don't understand that, but it was really good.
Hmm.
I actually don't have anything that I'm upset about, and it was just
Hmm.
unique. I guess I get what you're saying though, in that like I guess immigration is not unique, but like I thought it was different than freaking remaking the same movie 10 years later, which
Yeah,
is what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
that's
But
fair.
it
I
was
do
just
give
fun.
them.
I felt like it gave, or how like it's just like one of those weird films where it's just like somebody had something to say and they spent 3 hours saying it, but I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Sometimes I don't. Like for example, like I said, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood actually didn't sit very well with me. It wasn't my favorite movie, and it was a very similar like setup, and it's just one of those things that not everybody's gonna like. Kind of like Wes Anderson. Not everybody's gonna like his movies because they don't always sit in that space for everyone. So,
Yeah.
but
True.
this one, for some reason, maybe I was in a good mood. I don't know, but it did it
Like,
for me. It really did its big one. So I'm gonna say it's innocent.
yeah, I feel like I need to go back and see it. It's kind of like one of those things. Sometimes you need to listen to a song twice to like for it to like catch on to you. Like if I'm listening to a new album, sometimes I listen to it twice. So I'm like, okay, I want to get some songs, like some favorite songs out of this. I'm gonna listen to it twice to see if I actually like it all. You know what I mean? So I'd probably do that. And I'd say
Yeah,
just one extra thing I did dislike. I didn't really like how Lockjaw's plot line ended. Because I mean, you see him survive the wreck, survive the gunshot to the face or whatever, but then like 20 minutes later, he's like killed off again. I was thinking he was killed off after the
I
crash.
did like
Did
that
I did I miss that? You like what you like about it? Like,
because I think that's what I was saying earlier. Like it was realistic. Realistically, they would not accept that man. They know that he's lying. They
okay,
know that his daughter is mixed. Like you're not getting in a white supremacist group being like that. And the fact that he
yeah,
sat there and the story he came up with, the lie he told, and then you look crazy because you basically came back from the dead and you still want to join this group. Like you've done too much. They know that you went on this whole raid, this ice
okay,
raid, under the mask of hiding your secret black daughter. So I just feel like they wouldn't want him. So I was like, if they let him in, that's just not realistic.
mm.
And I don't need the villains to survive every time. Like sometimes they should kill them off. And I like that
Oh
they
no,
gave him
no,
hope
yeah, yeah.
and then snatched it from him so
Yeah,
quickly.
I'm not saying he should have survived. I guess it was maybe just a boring ending for me. Maybe that could just be me
Um,
though. I don't know. Yeah, it could just be that. But I'm not saying he should have survived. Just maybe ended it in a different way.
yeah,
But that's just my opinion.
that
But
was a funny movie.
so
Lots of
the
humor.
final.
My theater was cracking up.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like there were parts that were just like racist as hell, but like the Christmas adventurers when they were in the room there, like they were like saying like some of the like
Yeah,
craziest stuff, but it was the ridiculousness of it that made it so funny. Like parts like that was
yeah.
kind of funny to me.
Same
But
with
Leonardo,
Bob. Just
yeah, Bob,
ridiculous.
yeah, I was gonna say Leonardo's character was probably like the funniest though. But we got a
For
mixed
sure.
verdict.
Yeah.
It's like got ranges to it. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yes,
but
I don't think we've ever been this divided ever, which to me says it's a movie worth reviewing. I love that everybody landed somewhere different. I don't think we've ever all three not been on the same page. So
Yeah, that's
this
I
was
think
true.
we have
fun.
before
What does
just
that
once.
mean? Does it mean that it's like acquitted?
Mm.
Yeah, it's giving mistrial of
Yeah, mistrial.
like we have to let them go. Everybody can interpret movies differently. Everybody walks away with something different, and that's the beautiful thing about movies. And we're not done yet because this is the Box
What's
Officers
next?
podcast, and next week, The Rock in the
Oh
Smashing
yeah,
Machine is
yeah.
coming to the Box Officers podcast,
I already
and
know
that's
that's
going
gonna
to
be
be
good.
interesting.
I already know that's gonna be good.
You
Ooh.
know,
Yeah.
we love an A24 movie, so we're really, really excited. But yeah, you guys need to let us know your thoughts on this one actually, because we're so divided. Like, you need to pick a side.
Yeah, you gotta
So
comment.
please let us know in the comments
Mm-hmm.
what you're thinking.
I gotta know if anybody else can relate.
Yeah,
Alright,
right? But yeah, otherwise, that is it for this week on the Box Officers podcast. We will see you guys next Wednesday.